just like the people made homeless by the tsunami. We decide to provide new homes, not only for the tsunami victims, but also for the deprived in both villages.
Diese ganze Geschichte war jetzt irgendwie Sozialfall. 142.1 neue Nummer Sozialfall.
Navasia takes us to such families. For example, to Majiba, a mother of 5 children. Sheltering in a relative's house, 7 people live in a 10 square meter section.
And eldest boy is playing.
Majiba's husband is sick and unable to work.
Was hat es heute zum Essen gegeben?
Ja, schon gekocht und gegessen. Reis und Linsen und die kleine den Reis und Linsen hat sie alles von dieser Kuchen bekommen.
Muslim clans live often in the tiniest spaces. For example, elderly Arosia, who cooks here for more than 20 people, for children, grandchildren and children-in-law. The sanitary conditions are alarming.
Dit is einfach ein Loch und sonst nichts. Oh.
Adjoining the house is a small plot of land where a new house could be built for Arosia's family immediately. We also add this family to our list of beneficiaries. One day the mayor surprises us with some pleasing information. A large piece of privately owned land has come up for sale within the village of Maradana.
Other places no land available.
Very, very.
His recommendation is, buy the land. Don't wait for the government to make land available, because that will take a really long time.
This area over there?
Yeah, it's 33 acres.
Yeah.
40 legs for
40 lakhs. For 5 acres for...
But the equivalent of 228,000 euro is no bargain, especially as the ground first has to be drained. But by whom and at what cost? Wolfgang addresses the draining issue with the mayor.
And who is paying if it's not the same?
No,
You know, if there no, it's just a question. If there are worse conditions, who is paying it?
we are responsible.
Okay. Yeah, if you're sure, I mean,
We have
that's,
no
yeah,
problem.
Yeah. Okay.
That's no problem.
Feroz has a very different view on the things the mayor considers no problem.
In our village, very difficult in the land, so people want to living in this area. Therefore, somebody is buying piece the land. Somebody tried to build, but they can't to build. So very deep this area is. Top is like a mattress. We can't walk on that mattress. Sometimes we can't. We have the chance death.
And sure enough, a survey commissioned by us deems that the plot is a 6-meter deep swamp.
Yes, in one way or the other, Mr. Mazahim, the land which is offered to us is not suitable because it is marshy land and it's too expensive and everything. Yes, it is not suitable.
Dieser Baugrund, den wir einzig und allein zur Verfügung haben, um hier was zu tun, ist wie eine Metapher der ganzen Situation, in der wir uns befinden.
Sumpf.
Sumpf. Es ist ein absoluter Sumpf. Und je mehr du dich hineinwagst, umso mehr versinkst du da drinnen. Und das ist belastend.
As a way to raise Elizabeth's spirits, I suggest that we go and look at some other aid projects. An exchange of information with NGOs and other aid workers could prove useful.
From Maradana to here, is it too far for the people?
It is too far. From Maradana, they have to come to the town by walking.
The rail line links Colombo to the south. Here the tsunami caused a very large amount of damage. A number of aid organizations have already received building plots from the government, and they could start construction. The first thing that becomes apparent is how far these new dwellings are from the coast. Most aren't even connected to bus routes. Fishermen will therefore have to make the journey to the seaside by bicycle or on foot twice a day. This project was put together extremely quickly under the leadership of Prime Minister Rajapaksa.
Es sind also wie gesagt Government-Häuser und Häuser vom Mönch. Also es sind Menschen, die natürlich nahe an Kuttawelle gelebt haben, nahe am Beach. Fischer, die aber zum Teil eben auch weit zum Fischen jetzt fahren müssen. Aber das ist in den Siedlungen überall ein Problem, weil die jetzt oft auf dem Berg oder weit weg vom Beach gebaut wurden. Das ist überall das Problem im Moment.
If we are to build the new Gifop houses on building plots near the coast, then we have no choice but to find the land ourselves. The new boats are finally being delivered, a first success. We can hand them over to the fishermen. Catamarans like these are used for traditional fishing. "15 motorboats and 20 nets are also finally delivered.
One stays with us. And now, owner, witness, Helmut. I think it is necessary to keep the boat and not to sell it.
Usually 3 men work on a motorboat. They can make around €15 from one night's catch. Ahead of the new boat's maiden voyage, 2 imams give a prayer of thanksgiving. I'm delighted by the men's joy, and I feel their gratitude. Sufism is practiced in Maradana. For Sufis, gratitude is very important. The fishermen tell me that gratitude is the heart's wisdom. In the villages, 250 houses need to be repaired. Wolfgang has employed the builder, Mr. Hamza, to oversee the task.
Eine Anzahlung und es gibt für die Fees, für die ganzen, gibt es auch noch einen Check. Das ist das, was Hamza ist.
Caritas, our partner in Vienna, transfers the required funds.
Die Kuverts sind dann ein bisschen zu klein für diese Menge Geld.
From now on, about 20 builders must be paid in cash every day. Everything is planned in consultation with the residents.
The bathroom ingale ekade tingala nile vechu ingale chepa kadi tanda
Toilet is there, but new walls. Over here is the shower. Yeah. Then we do a wall like here and here, and like this is going to be the roof. Does she understand?
இந்த கூரை வந்தது உங்களோட கூரையிட மட்டத்துக்கு வரல. இந்த ஷேப்பு தான் பாரு.
15 வந்த மட்டும் நல்லா.
15 தான் பாரு. சரியா?
Inside plastering. And no, the roof you have to just to repair the other side. Yeah. You're writing down as well? In English?
Wolfgang is a people person and well loved.
Same IT also, no?
Remember the engineer, Mr. De Silva, who built the giant Buddha? He now works for Wolfgang as a structural engineer.
210.
Sie ist die beste Handlerin im Dorf, wird natürlich selbstverständlich noch eine Ablage kriegen. Will sie? Bathroom? Bathroom? Toilet, toilet.
இப்படி ஐனே வேணுமே போக டிவி கேட்டு முடியதே இல்லை.
நல்லா எடுங்க நல்லா. நல்லா எடுங்க நல்லா.
Wolfgang is kind, but isn't someone who can be taken for a ride. Here he tells it straight.
Machen bitte eine neue Wohnung helfen.
Das kann ich nicht. Nein, das kann ich nicht. Ich kann keine neue Wohnung machen.
Aber Entschuldigung,
Ja,
ich
nein.
selber gefragt.
Ja.
Aber andere Leute sagen neue Wohnung gesagt.
Andere Leute haben eine neue Wohnung, andere Leute haben noch ein Haus komplett zerstört. Dieses Haus ist nicht komplett zerstört.
Aber jetzt gefragt, ist kein Problem. Ich habe schlafen hier.
Ja, aber
meine Kinder gesagt,
Ja.
meine Kinder sagen, Papa, wir wollen Sie
Ja, okay, aber was soll ich machen? Ich kann nur reparieren. Ich kann dir anbieten, wir reparieren das, ja oder nein. Mehr kann ich nicht machen.
This man is a trader, not a fisherman. His language skills give away the fact that he often deals with tourists. He has likely had the experience that tourists can be easily outsmarted. That's the reason why we, the white people, have been nicknamed walking dollar bills. Tourists visit Maradana every now and then, though in the hotels they are dissuaded from doing so. It is said the village is dirty and its inhabitants are coarse. Nevertheless, I would consider somebody as coarse and rude who walks half naked through a Muslim village. Paranakadi and Maradana are endlessly fascinating to me. A young man from Paranakadi, gravely injured by the tsunami, died after weeks of suffering. The families and village inhabitants say their goodbyes.
And there's nobody who speaks English.
Communicating with government officials proves to be a real challenge. It requires patience and often frays the nerves.
Answer maybe?
Who speaks? I am Elisabeth from Project Give Hope. Yes?
Yes, Helmut speaking. May I speak to Mr. Sumanapala?
Yes, I was...
Hello, is this the Minister of Foreign Employment Promotion?
His email tried to get in touch with us by phone.
Okay. Bye-bye. Falsche Nummer geben.
35.
Helmut speaking again. I tried to... This is a wrong... Huh? But this is a fax.
Three months were spent on an intensive search for sufficiently large building land near the coast. Finally, in August 2005, 8 months after the tsunami, we find a suitable plot. And it is within the district of Theravada.
Hello, Helmut.
Yes,
How do you do? Mr. Wolfgang.
Yes,
Elizabeth. This is Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, yes. Very famous name, no?
The landowners are Sinhalese and willing to sell. The mayor says the land is ideal. Here we could build all the 90 houses needed for the families of Maradana and Paranakadi.
Muss man schon unbedingt haben.
The land is purchased with the help of Mr. Aloysius, the Colombo businessman. The signing of the contract marks the start of building the new houses.
I want to express my thanks to all of you, to the landowners who gave their land for, I think, a very good purpose. It's a land for a new village. It's a village for your people. Thank you for your cooperation.
Mr. Aloysius acts as a trustee for the land purchase. As foreigners, we would have had to pay 100% taxes.
Maybe Mr. Aloysius will do something.
My group of companies is very happy to have associated, and the companies are doing an honorary service. We are not charging a penny, but the cause is good, and I would thank profusely Elizabeth and Helmut. They came here one afternoon, and then I straight away gave them the assurance, and I continue to give that. And I hope all of you, and thank everybody for making it a success.
At long last, we have a top-quality building plot in an area of Theravada. It is a mixed area with a population of more than 50% Muslims and around 40% Sinhalese. Therefore, we are given permission to build according to our fact-finding 20 houses for Paranakadi families and 70 houses for Maradana families.
It's okay. And then it's to here.
Actually, this is the border.
A Sri Lankan architect draws up plans for the villages. He aims to take into account the plot's palm tree stock.
It's much better than unexpected.
Say about maximum about, say 8 to 10 trees.
Yeah, 10,
maximum.
12, yeah. Okay. So we are really looking that we don't stop the toddy production.
Toddy is palm juice that is extracted from the palm's crown. Efficient extraction involves putting up ropes that can be scaled and crossed. Toddy is used to make arak, a type of liquor very popular amongst the Sinhalese. In Maradana, a celebration is prepared for the entire village. Once ready, the dishes are presented in baskets made of palm leaves as a gift from the mosque to the villagers. The obituary of a 12th century imam is commemorated. No mourning, but a wedding celebration for a holy man whose death has brought holy union with Allah. The rose is an important spiritual symbol in Sufism. Rose oil is scattered. The architect has finished preparing plans for the two villages. Families from Maradana and Paranakadi would live, as before, in two neighboring villages. I took pictures of all the future house occupants. Mr. Hamza has been employed by Wolfgang to build the new villages. He receives instructions from Navasia about the future property owners. Mr. Hamza tells us that he feels such a strong connection to Give Hope that he has fasted 3 days to ask Allah's blessing. Late October 2005, 10 months after the tsunami, all necessary planning permissions are in. And the clearing work has begun.
Alhamdulillah.
I heave a sigh of relief as the first foundations are laid. I estimate that in a half year's time we will be able to hand over the houses and wind down Give Hope. Elizabeth begins preparing the title registry for the new owners. All 90 families come to our office to tell us which name should be listed as the house proprietor. Navasia informs everyone about the location, the design and house fittings. The upcoming elections for the state president in November 2005 start with a bang. The Conservative Opposition Party is ahead in Theravada.
Everything okay? Everything is okay.
The mayor expects Give Hope to bring in some votes for his Conservative Party, because at last the 90 houses are being built. The party of Socialist Prime Minister Rajapaksa drives through town waving its blue flags. They are also after the tsunami vote. The Reds are the People's Liberation Front, a nationalist Marxist party. In the 1980s, this party wanted to bring about a violent communist revolution. The end result was 50,000 dead. At the main Berawala junction, I watched the election event for the Yellows, a Buddhist monks party named the National Heritage Party. It was established only a few months before the tsunami, and it fights for Sinhalese and Buddhist dominance. The party official in monk's habit dismisses other politicians as brainless. He argues that the enlightened can only be found in his party. Newspapers report that Socialist Prime Minister Rajapaksa has promised close collaboration with the new monks' party. This is a topic of conversation at the barbers in Maradana. The concern is that the expected Sinhalese Buddhist supremacy will bring no good for the country's Muslims. I film a Perahera. It is a religious procession organized by a Buddhist temple. 100 years ago, a perahera in Colombo was the trigger for the first violent clashes between Buddhists and Muslims. The Muslims fear that there will be renewed ethnic religious conflict if the new monks' party wins votes. Mid-November 2005, a voting booth is set up on the ruins in front of our office. A close race between the conservatives and socialist Prime Minister Rajapaksa is expected, who promised to play ball with the monks' party.
Morning, Mr. Helmut.
Morning.
All the best.
All the best.
Rajapaksa wins the election and becomes the new president. He announces union between religion, race and military. This policy makes me shudder. The new president comes from a powerful clan in the south of the island. Father, brothers and relatives take up important political and economic positions. Two weeks after the election, the mayor brings us a demand from the new monks' party. The Give Hope houses must be equally distributed between Muslims and Buddhists. This is entirely arbitrary because the tsunami caused more damage in Maradana, therefore more to Muslims.
Otherwise, you have the next problem.
I am irritated by the mayor's attempts to persuade us of the political monks' argument.
Stop discussing and stop discussing about 50-50. Tsunami did make not 50-50. Tsunami, nature, God is different. It's not calculating like a monk. It's a waste of time to speak about a 50-50 solution because there will not be 50-50.
Ich meine, das Tatsache ist, dass wir jetzt ein Religionsproblem haben. Ne?
Ja, das haben wir nicht jetzt. Das haben wir schon seit Beginn.
Ja, nein, aber jetzt wirkt es sich aus.
Ja.
Mr. Matzheim, we really should have the opportunity, please, to talk to the monk. We must talk to the monk.
But the monks are not willing to talk. Instead, they organize a demonstration in Theravada. Filming the demonstration, I'm unaware that it is actually against us. I can't read what is written on the placards. Neither do I understand what the monk is saying about me. It gradually dawns on me that this demonstration is against us.